Hey, my name's Joel, and in this video, I'm gonna be telling you about these awesome fold flat fire pits from Winnerwell. That's right, you probably didn't guess that at first, but everything on the ground in front of me is a piece to a fire pit. This is a large fire pit over here, and this is an extra large fire pit. They come in 4 different sizes. But they're simple flat pieces of stainless steel that are flat when not in use, but can be folded into a 3-dimensional shape when you're ready for a fire. Just add wood and you're good to go. So what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna take a look at them together. I've yet to fold these out and have a fire in them, and I'm gonna give you my honest and transparent thoughts. But I do wanna say thanks to Winnerwell for sending out these fire pits for me to review. So the first thing I can tell you is you're going to need a pair of gloves. When I got these out of the box, I was not paying attention and I sliced my hand pretty good with one of these. Nothing that was crazy, but just enough to make me aware that these are stainless steel pieces of metal with sharp edges in some places. So you wanna make sure that you go ahead and put on a pair of gloves when you're assembling them or transporting them somewhere. That's probably the only downside to these, is when they're flat, they can be dangerous. So I'm gonna work with the extra large fire pit when we make our fire, but I'm gonna also set up the large fire pit so you can see the size difference. And all you really do is take this bottom portion that looks like a T, pull it apart, and you'll see it makes this shape. Then we simply take the larger portion and you unfold it to look like this. It looks like a pyramid if it's upside down, but it sets in this base like that. We simply unfold and place it on top of the base. And even though we're gonna make our fire in the extra large fire pit tonight, I have these grill grates I wanna show you for the large fire pit. All you do is simply slide these grates onto the fire pit like this. They lock in on these edges. And you have an awesome place to cook burgers, a steak, any kind of meal right here on top of the fire pit. So this is an option, I believe. You have to purchase separate, but it's really great once you get your coals going underneath this grate. You can place it on there and cook anything you want right on top. All right, so I've got a whole bundle of kindling here and a fire starter. We're gonna use that kind of at the bottom to get things going. So let's go ahead and start constructing our fire. Got a nice little base made. Gonna put my fire starter right in the middle. So while our fire is starting up, let's talk about some of the features of the fire pit that are gonna make it more efficient. I think you're gonna get a nice complete burn out of this because it has portholes all the way around on all 4 sides. This is gonna allow more oxygen to get up into the fire. They're graduated, smaller on the edge, bigger in the middle. And I don't think they're big enough to allow big coals to come through. In fact, the holes only go about halfway down the fire pit. So the bottom, even though there's a small hole all the way at the point, there's really nothing about halfway down that's going to allow any of your coals or fire to fall out if that's a concern. But all the way around, it looks really nice and efficient. And I gotta say, it's beautiful as it reflects the fire. I didn't think about that. And here's something interesting I thought I'd point out while the fire is going. You can see flames underneath my logs there, the coals collecting underneath the logs themselves as they break down. It's really nice for airflow because this kind of reverse pyramid design holds the logs that are still intact up and allows air through the portholes to come underneath them and just provide more flame. It's probably gonna be a more complete burn, and then the hot coals collect at the smaller part of the point there down at the bottom. But it's a really cool design versus a fire pit that's just a straight wall on the side. This angled pyramid allows for a lot of airflow underneath the logs there, and you can see the coals collecting and the logs on top still burning. And real quickly, I want to talk about the size of these fire pits. So we have it in several different sizes. To me, this is the most comparable size to your average campsite fire pit that you're going to find. The large, you're going to have to chop your wood pretty small and precisely, maybe like 12 to 14 inches long, and then keep it to kindling size. But if you're going to cook something, that might be a good way to do it. I believe cooking would be a little more difficult with the larger surface area on the large. So maybe keep to the small for cooking, keep to the large for enjoying a fire. And I gotta say, I really underestimated the reflective quality of this fire pit, how it's just kind of bouncing those flames back up at your face. It's a really bright fire, which, I mean, in taller stoves with taller sides, you don't get as much of the flame. The flame is kind of exposed to you at all corners at maximum level, so you get this nice bright orange. You can kind of see my face glowing, this nice bright orange color all around you. And that's really cool. So not only is it very little smoke because there's great ventilation and lots of airflow, but the orange glow I think is unrivaled to any other fire pit that I've used. To me, the best feature of these fire pits is the fact that they fold flat, because that means you can take the magic of this anywhere. A nice, warm, orange, glowing, crackling fire. So you can take it to a campsite and place your fire pit in a spot that they don't normally have fire pits, away from the hustle and the bustle. You can take it to the side of a lake. You can do it on a beach. But whatever you do, once you put out the fire, it's probably not going to take all that long for it to cool down and be transportable. So I think high marks for portability and ease of use. It's just a great, beautiful design that I think you could use over and over again throughout the years, and it's really going to hold up to whatever you throw at it. So that's it. What do you think? I think these are possibly some of the coolest designed fire pits that I have ever seen, and I'm excited to take them out on the road with me. I can throw them almost anywhere, and I can get this beautiful fire wherever I'm going. So thanks for joining me. Check them out for yourself. I really think you're gonna like them.